Recording properly. Hey, welcome back to the Alexandrian Codex. I'm Alex. This is Hearts of Iron 4 playing the Kaiserreich mod. We're gonna hop in as Ireland. We last night had an abysmal game as the Austrian Empire that kind of hit a stalemate in this vague area. So this time I'm gonna go for something very different. We were talking about last night, I think, just how great of a focus tree Ireland has, and I haven't actually ever played with it, just watched other people stream with it, so figured it might be worth taking a look. It's very hard not looking left, because this is where my other monitor is. I might want to mirror my webcam. Generally, it's bad form for a character on the periphery of an image like I am here to be looking off this way because it draws the attention of the viewer that way, when I should be facing this way to draw your attention in towards the subject matter. Oh, maybe it was a dumb idea to reposition the webcam today without playing with it too much, but whatever, it's fine. Yeah, Kaiserreich, I want to know everything. Thanks for the info.
Yes, sir.
So, Ireland. I mean, it's Ireland. We don't start with any overseas holdings. We have a pretty small army. We have a navy, which is all of 6 destroyers. No air force at all. Very exciting. So, standard opening moves. Focus on your industry. Oh boy. Alright, free dockyards, and no, we're not building tanks. Yeah, that's definitely not on the agenda. What kind of troops do we have? Just full infantry? Alright. Alright.
Listen up.
Let's convert all of you to basic infantry divisions, prioritize reinforcement. Gonna get rid of our support equipment. We need steel that we do not have. Let's trade with Germany. Really, the United States would be a fairly decent option as well, but they're not gonna be an option for very long. I'm gonna start pumping out more destroyers just because I don't know what else to do. And now let's look at our national focus. Ireland on the world stage. Political questions of the day. Irish Economic Act. Reforming the armed forces. Oh my god, the tree's massive. Probably the best place to open is the Irish Economic Act. Getting our economy off the ground is going to be important for any step forward. Now, despite having gained our freedom from the tyranny of British rule, Ireland is a divided nation. There are many questions that occupy the mind of public and politicians alike. We must address these questions if our nation is going to be able to pull itself together to form a true whole. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good thematic opener. Defense of the Republic. After 700 years of British rule, the Irish people have finally secured their independence. However, Britain and Canada still threaten Ireland, and if it comes to war, the Irish people must be prepared to fight using their superior knowledge of the terrain and determination to protect their freedom. We get a whopping 10% bonus to attack and defense on core territory. Quite good. Just turn this up to speed 5 and let the game go. State of the Republic, 1936. After countless years of arduous rebellion and weathering oppressive British rule, the Irish people have won their freedom and the country back. But as one enemy was vanquished, another rose in her place, perhaps yet more dangerous still. Michael Collins sits as a reluctant dictator, eager to defend the independence of his nation at any cost, yet his political enemies are many as the 1937 election approaches. Ireland is a powder keg, and only a matter of time until it explodes. I've never seen an Irish civil war. Downfall in stability to low stability. There goes President Kerensky of Russia.
Listen up!
Oh, I suppose we should be training more infantry, I guess? Sure.
Ready!
Sure. Organizer, or planner. Oh god. Alright. Vote this down. Edward VIII crowned is King of Great Britain. Fast planner, organizer, reckless, good planning speed, high chance to get wounded in combat. You're tempting. You have Old Guard, War Hero, Defensive Doctrine. You'd be very good at defending, naturally. Brilliant strategist, quite good. Planning speed reduction. But you're cautious, so you're not likely to get wounded, but... So he could pick up Fast Planner. That would completely cancel out being cautious. Thorough Planner. Defensive Doctrine, Defensive Doctrine. Okay, he has some possibilities. How about you? Nothing super interesting. How about you? Yeah, you have interesting possibilities. Let's go with you and O'Duffy.
Yes, sir!
And for this, we need somebody... Ah, well, that's discouraging. Urban Assault Specialist is pretty cool. You're not bad. Tom Barry. What you got for me, Barry? Not horrible. Tom McGuire. Now, we need to think about what we want to do. If we want to attack the Union of Britain, or really anyone, we either need a sizable navy and or a sizable air force. If we go with the sizable air force, I'll be remaking these infantry divisions into droppable divisions to paradrop, which is something I don't really have a lot of practice with. Or we can go with Marines. Either way, out of supply bonus is probably good for us. Problems up north. Edward Curzon, former leader of the Unionist Party, died last year, aged 81. He was an extremely divisive figure, whilst alive, and fled to England when Ireland gained her independence and took back Ulster. He was particularly reviled outside of Ulster for his persecution of beloved Irish poet and author Oscar Wilde. His memory was venerated today by loyalists in the north of Ireland, who held a memorial service in Belfast, with several leading members of the UUP speaking in his name. The memorial attracted quite a crowd, showing that Carson still has power even in death. His specter is looming over Ulster, just as tensions and threat of rebellion loom over it as well. We're authoritarian Democrats. Go full Irish Christian front. Not really. We could join the Third Internationale, but we wouldn't stand out much there. I'd like to aim for taking over the British Isles, at the very least. I don't really know. I guess I'll see what the focus tree has to offer. Hit rate. That went down fast. Snowden. Our ideology is growing. Okay. So, do I want to keep our ideology what it is? Probably. Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and boost that. Short term, it'll affect our popularity, and that's quite nice. Being more popular, that is. Here we go. Black Monday hits Ireland on the 3rd of February. Oh, the German stock market collapsed, plunging the world into depression. Ireland has relied on trade with Germany in its sphere of influence since the British Revolution, when we declared ourselves a republic and cut ties with the British Empire. The crisis has had a severe effect on the Irish economy, as Germany and the other European trading partners have been hit by the crisis. Many scramble to find solutions, most parties proposing either Irish economic development or maintaining stability while German economy recovers. More radically, the Anglophile National Centre Party advocate abandoning trade with continental Europe and opening trade ties with the Entente, often making speeches tinged with anti-German rhetoric. The syndicalists have also begun to advocate revolution, claiming that this crisis is proof of the failures of capitalism. That's a lot of political power gone. That's okay. Restoration of democracy in Australasia. Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if that actually lasts. Maneuvers in the Carpathians. Romania doing its thing. How do I end the Black Monday events for us? Does not say. Interesting. So, political power decides the religious direction of the Irish state. Okay, political power, fruitable population, political power. None of these seem that exciting. World stage, choosing our friends. Ourselves alone. Autarky. Well, for the time being, Irish Economic Advancement Act. Despite gaining our freedom, the economy of our fine island has laid stagnant for quite some time and is even, in some places, decaying. With the passing of the Irish Economic Advancement Act, the IEAA, the DAO can address this vital issue. Ireland may be small, but her people are industrious and her cities have plenty of room to grow. And this guy's hair is... Tom Barry's hair is fucking on point. Papal Conclave. Yeah, St. Peter. Sure, yeah, Pope, whatever. First International Congress. Just garrison. Everything, not that we're going to be attacked, just it'll let me automatically assign these. How are we doing on factories? No factories. Alright, so let's withdraw this factory from Germany. I didn't realize it would be that important. Yep, just slowly plugging away. Fair enough. Yeah, economic ideas are definitely the way to go first. Black Monday, does this expire? No, we have to get rid of this somehow. Very interesting. Presumably it's in the Irish Economic Advancement Act tree, but I don't know that for a fact. 20th anniversary of the 1916 Easter Rising. On Monday, the 24th of April, 1916, members of the Irish Volunteers, Irish Citizen Army, and Mba? Yeah, I cannot. Gaelic is not for me. Seized key locations in Dublin and declared a free Irish Republic. Surrounded by the vastly superior numbers and artillery of the British Army, they fought on for 6 days before eventually surrendering. Most of the leaders of the rising were executed, although a loss at the time, it would subsequently lead to Ireland's War of Independence and freedom after 700 years under British rule. Today is the 20th anniversary, and celebrations and parades have taken place all across Ireland, including a thundering speech from President Collins emphasizing the need to protect the freedom that Patrick Pearse and his comrades died for. For slavery fled, O glorious dead, when you fell, in the fall you do. The temptation to do an affectation of accent is real, but would be, I think, insensitive, so no. Oh. These are Al-Rashid and the Sauds. Oh. So you are Saudis. You both have identical trees, right? Well, it doesn't matter. The Saudis won, as they tend to. Basic machine tools, not super exciting. Concentrated industry, Irish Economic Advancement Act. Okay, so begin reform of modernizing Ireland's agricultural industry. I want this research spot. Because research tends to be really good, and getting that locked down pretty early on seems important. So we'll get one here if we have more than 30 factories, and we'll just get one. So I'm going to go straight for that. Our nation is greatly lacking in scientific progress compared to many other industrialized nations. Presently, Ireland has very little in the way of funding for scientific research. Beginning to develop a proper scientific program will be essential if we are to significantly develop our nation. The Dale considers the economy. With the passing of the Irish Economic Advancement Act, a commitment by the Irish government to a rapid and complete overhaul of the economy has been made. As stipulated in the Act, the government must now decide on an annual focus to improve the economy. Michael Collins, President of the Republic and leader of the Fine Gael, as well as Frank McDermott of the National Centre Party, believe that Ireland should focus on building up its industry as quickly as possible. A syndicalist coalition led by Jim Larkin argued that giving power to the workers' unions is the best way to increase our nation's productivity. Lastly, Sinn Féin suggests a focus on the mainstream industrial research and development. So this gives industrial research time minus 5%. That's pretty good. This gives construction speed for military and civilian factories plus 5%. This gives production efficiency and factory output bonus. That's quite good. I want to take a look at our authoritarian Democrats are dominating politically right now. This research time is nice, and we do start out at a slight disadvantage. And we will be researching quite a bit of industrial tech in the years to come, but this will only save us days. Whereas this is a lot more important. So I think the syndicalists are onto something. Yeah, we're going to focus on workers' rights. It'll boost our factory output, which when we only have 2 working military factories, doesn't seem like very much, but it'll add up. Hopefully. It may not. Evolution in Siam. Oswald Mosley, elected chairman of the Trade Union Congress of Britain. Great. Not at all a detestable man in this timeline. No. Wow. Michael Collins is a savior and national hero of Ireland, with a combination of popularity and rigged elections keeping him in power. Born in Cork, Collins fought in the 1916 Easter Rising and afterwards became president of the Irish Republican Brotherhood. During the war, he organized the IRA into an effective guerrilla force, seeking to avoid the mistakes of 1916. In 1921, he was sent to negotiate the Anglo-Irish Treaty. Although by threatening to continue the war with German backing, he was able to acquire all 32 counties in the treaty. He was unable to secure a republic, with British fearing that an independent Irish republic would immediately become a German base. When he was expelled from Sinn Féin by Eamon de Valera, he managed to form his own party, Fine Gael, which quickly overtook Sinn Féin in popularity. After the British Revolution, he declared an independent Republic of Ireland and defeated a Unionist uprising in Ulster. Now, with the Second Weltkrieg approaching, Collins advocates revitalizing Ireland's economy and military in order to assert Ireland's independence. It'd be a joy if Mongolia lost here, but doesn't look like that's going to happen. A joy mostly because it would be unusual if Mongolia lost. Research time minus 2% is not incredibly significant, but it will add up. We're not going to be at war anytime soon. Still, we should research that. Christian socialism. Christian Socialist Party, really? Well, this is about as moderate as you can get. Oh, we'll see what happens. Probably nothing spectacular. Italy takes a long time to figure out what exactly it's doing in this game. Often not of its own device. Next up, industrial research priorities. Our nation has a vital need for industry, and that need is coupled with an equal requirement for research and development. Many of our factories are decrepit and out of date. To build a modern industry, Ireland needs modern factories. Investing into industrial research will allow us to move forward towards progress. Small step for Ireland. The Ireland Scientific Innovation Council, the ESIC, is a newly created sub-department of the government with one simple purpose in mind: devotion to academia and scientific progress. Ireland has long been seen as a rural backwater by world powers, a place that progress seems to leave behind. While cruel opinion, it's not without truth. Centuries of British rule left Ireland largely neglected. While the rest of the world raced on, it's time to catch up. The ESIC will be composed of expert scientists recruited from both Irish population and friendly foreign allies. The ESIC research teams will increase our overall research efficiency and may even occasionally produce major breakthroughs in certain fields. The government must now decide how important the ESIC is to the nation, how much funds should they receive. Low funding, prudent funding, or Ireland must leap from the past so she can walk in the future. Massively funded. Yeah, massively funded. We've got to catch up before we can overcome. The effects of Black Monday. I'm a little concerned at how we resolve the Black Monday crisis. Ah. This didn't happen last time. Strangely, after the Valkyrie, Germany seized former French Indochina, but stability didn't restore until German intervention in 1926 crushed revolutionaries in South China. Now, Indochinese nationalists and leftists under a coalition called the Viet Minh rise up against the colonial regime. After quoting the French Declaration of the Rights of Man and the American Declaration of Independence, Indochina. They tend to win. They tend to win quite easily. Belgian Declaration of Independence. Ooh. Sick of German oppression and the disaster of Black Monday, Belgian independence movements throughout the country have been revolting and performing guerrilla strikes throughout the country. On the German army. Due to their own recovery, the German Empire has been unable to support Adalbert I to the fullest and has left the situation to escalate beyond their control. After coordinated strikes by the Independence Army on the cities of Mons and Antwerp, they were finally able to push the Flandrian Wallonian army back to Brussels, where, after fierce fighting, the German king surrendered. With no clear answer yet from the German Empire, many fear that an independent Belgium might be short-lived. especially with tensions between the Empire and Commune of France rising to the strategic location of the country. I don't know if I've ever seen this happen before. Typically, Belgium is pretty content to stay quiet and unassuming. The end of American democracy, Herbert Hoover has invited General Douglas MacArthur to take the reins of the country. That won't possibly end poorly. Not at all. Why don't I grab me, move me over here? If I'm going to be looking right, I might as well be looking like I should be looking right. Cool. Moving on to Irish Synthetics Project. Although our people are industrious and our island ripe for industrialization, there's no accounting for the unfortunate lack of natural resources available to us relative to the powers of the world. Oil and rubber are particularly problematic, so if we would like to make use of these resources in our industries, Ireland must develop a functional synthetics program. Hell, I'm more concerned about steel than oil right now, but you know, you do you, game. Police crackdown. No. Our stability could use some improvement, it's true, but not like that. Like this, however, I'm very okay with. Early mobilization should give us... we have 2 factories now. Fancy. Our ideology has grown. Dope. Moving away from the government we have... Wow! Ernest Blythe is quite good. Factory output bonus, research time bonus, construction speed bonus. I love this man. More of that.
Commands! Orders!
Oh wow, that was all 3 tech at once. Industries where I really want to be focusing. So let's go construction, let's go concentrated industry, and improved machine tools. Prime Minister remaining as Prime Minister. American Civil War sparking off. Nothing crazy surprising there. The CSA will probably win again. Not that I mind. Just likely that they will. Democracy prevails in the Philippines. Having achieved independence from the United States, the Philippines face today perhaps one of the most serious challenges any new country could face. Disgruntled army. Their attempt was quickly thwarted as loyalist units in the army reaffirmed their support for and intervened in favor of the legitimate democratic Filipino government and drove the rebellious army out of the capital, ending the threat of a syndicalist coup before it could even begin. How about that? My money's on the Indo-Chinese Union winning this war down here. Expand the ESIC. The ESIC has been doing a fantastic job to date, but they still have room to grow. Further investment will facilitate their involvement in a greater number of research projects, enabling our teams to cover more ground and deal with more fields. This will improve our overall flexibility in fields of science. It's great, and then Great Green Wheat Forward is what we want next, so we should be focusing on more factories. German economy improves. The German... Oh, so the Black Monday crisis is tied to Germany's success or failure. That's something. The German government has begun to reform their economy to cope with the Black Monday. With their economy improving, trade between our two nations has begun to resume, helping return our economy back to normal. It's a little terrifying having your economy dependence on something you can't influence at all. It's interesting, though not ideal maybe. Yeah, we're going to have to do a significant amount of growing to be able to be on par with the Union of Britain, even, and they are our most immediate concern. The Canadians might talk about invading, but they won't do it. New England's actually independent. Good for you. Yeah, wow, the United States is crumbling. They normally do poorly, but this is more than usual. Land doctrine, artillery. Artillery would be nice. Let's get some normal fighters up and going. If I'm going naval doctrine, I'll probably want battleships. I know they're expensive and we can't really afford them. If I'm going air focus rather than naval focus, where even are troop transports? Why am I not seeing that? Blind boy? Or is it tied to strategic bomber? Is it over here? Special forces. Oh, bear troopers. Really, it's tied to you. Nah, I think the Navy's more interesting and more fun for me personally, so let's do that. Advances in research efficiency. Thanks to steady funding by the Irish government, the ESIC has gradually been expanding over time and has grown in experience and efficiency, allowing them to tackle multiple research projects simultaneously. Ireland's scientific development is rapidly improving alongside the SIC's own progress, and the investment is obviously paying off. So this has doubled to a -4% change rather than just -2%. Actually starting to get significant. Yeah, having a strong navy would be a very ideal thing for us. Ah, there's the United Mexican States going to war with the Pacific States. Again, I think Mexico has, well, right now they're about on par, but their military factory bonus means the UMS are likely to win here. Definitely support that. Got another research slot, that's great. Battleships, let's just focus on that. We're getting new fighters. Do I want to go for bombers? Yeah, eventually, but not really at the moment. I want to grab land doctrine? I mean, I suppose not particularly. Let's grab radios. Not super important. Now, I need 30 factories. This faster civilian construction speed. Okay, I'm working on that right now. That's important. This is good, but not yet. This is good, but not yet. This is good, but not yet. Industry for Ireland. Our civilian industry has an enormous potential for growth. There's a major unemployment problem in our nation, and many families too poor to regularly feed themselves. By revitalizing our industry, we can both create new jobs and improve the economic strength of our own nation. Qing are expanding. They will almost certainly win this war. I'm amazed that DC hasn't fallen yet. Serbia now has a king. Slow industrialization is not bad. I typically, when I play by myself, I tend to like building up a strong industry and a serious research base before expanding. In just about any game that I play, I turtle like a motherfucker. It's just a really pleasing, calm way to play. It's very efficient. If you don't value your time, I suppose. If time is an issue, then turtling is a particularly ineffective strategy. Better machine tools are a most welcome addition. There goes Washington, D.C. Let's start and secure the firepower doctrine, as it's what I always do. DC is down, and I think the rest of the United States cannot be far behind, as Great Falls, Montana seems to be all they have left. No, they retook Washington and Baltimore. So once Baltimore and Washington fall again, I'm sure they will go well. French loyalists restore the monarchy. Okay. Well, that's fine and all. I'll be real, I've never seen France actually successfully retake their home country, nor have I ever seen Canada retake the Union of Britain. It's it's kind of sad, actually. Let's go up to partial mobilization. 3 civilian factories. Yeah, we're booming now. Second International. Now, there's industry for Ireland. We're going to revitalize the north. After the 1925 ceasefire, the northernmost region of Ulster has been an industrial slump relative to the rest of the nation. Belfast once used to be a thriving industrial city, and other towns and cities such as Derry and Coleraine were looking likely to follow. Revisiting this issue and energizing the north with industrial investments will help to lift the region. Romanian Civil War. The IFI initiative. The government has ordered that extensive funds be made available for rapid industrialization of our nation. Too many Irish men and women are without jobs. Many British-owned factories were closed down when Ireland gained her independence and have since fallen into disrepair. Ireland's industry lacks any real focus or direction, despite the population being eager and ready to work. It's up to the government to decide just how much of an investment into civilian industry they wish to make. Major amount. Many amount. There's the United Baltic Duchy Civil War. I'm surprised this isn't going faster. I'm surprised this isn't going worse for the Germans. We'll see how this goes. Yeah, the United Baltic Duchy's already been bisected. But we'll see, they might be able to pull this back. Syndicalist revolutionaries in Switzerland. Chaotic reports are coming from the small mountain republic of Switzerland, stating the Syndicalist revolutionaries have seized the western regions of Romandy and occupied the Haute-Savoie occupied Haute-Savoie following a Swiss military crackdown in the region. Supporting the successful Swiss revolutionaries, French troops have quickly moved in to occupy the region. The Swiss military has held a defensive posture, unwilling to advance into French guns. It seems that the speed of the revolutionary action has caught the Swiss government off guard, and they're unwilling to escalate violence to a full war with France. It remains to be seen what the Swiss will do next. It wrecked. Switzerland, unfortunately. Spanish Civil War. As in previous years, the Dial are meeting to decide the annual economic focus for the nation. The positions of the main power players in Irish politics have not changed. President Collins... Okay, so... Oh, we would replace what we have, or we slip closer and closer to syndicalism. Interesting. Well, let's go with Collins is always right. This will build authoritarian democracy. It'll build, which we need to get popular support. Right now we have medium popularity. This will give us political power, which we can then reinvest. This bonus of production efficiency and factory output I thought was a permanent thing. Turns out you just change this every year or every few years, so not that big of a deal. And the civilian factory construction speed probably should have been our first priority anyhow. I'm amazed that the United States has not capitulated yet, because they have... Arizona. I was going to say all they have is Arizona. Once now, they have nothing. Nothing at all. Alright. We can publicly support the Carlists, cost us political power, manpower, infantry equipment, or we could not. This first class of battleship, fantastic. Let's switch this over to just one. Once that's done, we will start building our battleships. We've got some time. Japan is announcing her ambitions. Good for Japan. Iron Guard Romania won, no surprise there. They almost always win. War economy we can't do unless we have more than 50% more support. Well, maybe not all that unlikely then. Can I replace our head of government? No, right? That's a pity. You I don't need to replace. You don't have anything interesting. You are just a godsend. I don't want to replace. You I would be okay with replacing. Possibly with... Wow, okay. None of these are really amazing. You're quite good, but you're social conservative. I think we'd replace him with Sean McCoy. Just to get that recruitable population. And stability. Yeah, the 37 techs, right? We're researching 36 technologies right now. Yeah, let's go for interwar artillery. We could also go into something else, but that's okay. Following commencement of the IFI initiative, the Irish Department of Industry and Commerce have decided on perhaps a rather obvious choice to kickstart Ireland's industry. Alcohol. Ireland has a long and proud tradition of producing Irish whiskey, but much of the production is done in small family-run distilleries throughout the countryside. The proposed Saurstadt development will open up several alcohol factories and produce some much-needed employment for our nation. but the location for the development has yet to be decided, only that it should be in one of our less industrially developed regions. Ulster, God knows if anyone needs a drink, it's them. Connacht, they need the jobs there. Munster, they'll benefit the most from the profits. Ulster, Connacht, Munster, but not Leinster, apparently. I wish I saw what exactly this did. Let's put it in Ulster. That give us a factory? Will it give us a factory? Hopefully later it will end up giving us something. Hungary declared war on Illyria, but then the war immediately disappeared. Okay, weird. United Baltic Duchies actually doing well, so it shows what I know. National Industrial Investment Fund. Constructing and expanding our nation's industry is of vital importance if Ireland is going to play any sort of key role in the world stage in the future. We need to make funds available to finance our rapid industrialization project. This will allow us more room for expansion and more efficient construction, depending on how much funds we make available. Gain civilian factory construction speed bonus, which is really what I'm about right now. Fall of Burgos. Wow, yeah, that's... the car lists are not doing well. Can't say it's surprising, but damn. We're researching this, we're researching this. Why don't we go for Fleet in B? We're making battleships, and it'll be a long time before we make battleships. We might as well make the best ones that we can, particularly if we can only field a few. Am I still being affected by Black Monday? I am. Well, Germany's gotten over it, so hopefully we will too. There's the Belgrade Pact. Savinkov is back. The pints are calling. Construction of the Sarstadt alcohol facilities is finished. Now the nation can enjoy the benefits. The factories have not come without their expense, but there's no doubt they'll be good for public morale as well as the economy in the long term. Can we really avoid this, pull out, or... Langton? Word I can't say, but 3 civilian factories. Dope. Impressive advances made. Given time and plenty of funding, the SIC has developed into a modern force in scientific research, to the point where Ireland is starting to be seen as a respected nation in terms of its research and development capabilities. No longer shall the Irish people be mocked as peasant farmers and louts. Total of -6 research time, which is actually getting to be pretty noticeable. Again, I want to hold on to this to switch out some of our folks here. We have German economy recovers. Germany's economy is finally recovered from Black Monday, allowing trade between Ireland and Germany to fully recommence. If only that would get rid of a... Oh, it did. Alright, we're no longer being affected by Black Friday. Hell yeah. Political power gain. I don't love that. Do one of you give... Alright. A couple of you give research time reduction. These are -2s, which are okay. This is -2. This is -2.5. Market liberal, -2.5. Anybody else? Yeah, we're getting Jack Lynch and the government for that -2.5 research time, because if we're stacking that on, might as well stack it on for real. So now we have a -20% research time bonus. It's actually quite good. We can fuck around with our... Now we're export focused right now, huh? If we go all the way to free trade, we'll get an additional 5% research time, and that might be worth doing. Free trade focus is probably worth doing because we have, as of right now, very few resources to trade away anyway, so that might be worth it. Yeah, that might be very worth it. In fact, not unless these other focuses give us a fuck ton of resources. Otherwise, we're gonna have to get those from somewhere else. Oh, United Baltic Duchy lives. Are you going independence, or are you going... Nope, Germanization. Fair enough. Fair enough. Black Monday ends. After a long time, and owing to the economic and diplomatic actions of our government, or inaction, really, the Irish economy has finally recovered from Black Monday. Go ahead and establish a financial and industrial capital. The rise of syndicalism in Britain has created a void in the British Isles that Ireland could potentially fill. Non-syndicalist nations could look to Ireland as lead trade nation, situated in the Atlantic between the American and European continents. With some effort and plenty of foreign lobbying, Dublin could be the next London. We now have National Industrial Investment Fund. Nope. The government's decision to orchestrate the creation of a national fund for investing in Irish industry has been well received by the public. Recent economic developments in the nation have been seen as an encouraging sign that the Dáil is committed to completing Ireland's economic rebirth. With the creation of the NIIF will allow the development of specialized construction companies and facilitate the purchase of building materials to keep the wheels of industrialization turning. Spent enough or massively invest? Clearly nationally massively invest. Oh, don't half-ass it. If you're gonna do it the whole way. Ideology has grown. Awesome. We're nowhere near high popularity, I think. Does this require 60 and... well, we're getting there. We are getting there. Yeah, it looks like the CSA are going to win again. We have some real ugly borders. It's a little odd how rarely the Pacific States of America are at war with the CSA or American Union State. But they get at war with the United Mexican States, no problem. Yep. Here's Mongolia doing what it does. The Qing are making some soft inroads here, but it's taking a very long time. Bulgaria's gone. Nothing new or unexpected there, unfortunately. Interwar artillery. That's cool, not going to be immediately useful. All of Atlanta, yep, there that goes. Maybe air. Let's just grab operational integrity. I don't know if I'm going to put it to good use or not. Don't know at all. God, it's gonna take a year and a half just to put one destroyer in the water. I'm trying to figure out how I want to divvy up our factories once we're done making civilian factories, and really, I have no idea. If we're making battleships, should we just go super heavy battleships? I do not know. Maybe, even probably. Nah, let's... Yeah. As I'm not going to be able to lay our first one down for another year and a half, might as well have a super heavy be our first battleship. Go big or go home. Go real big. There's that. Alright, so this will modernize our agricultural industry. This will give some infrastructure. These don't give any factories. These don't directly give any factories either. So probably agricultural reform drive is the way to go, just so we can get through all of these and hopefully get the Great Green Leap forward. The rural areas of Ireland are by far the most neglected by the government to date, and could easily serve as a starting point for radical economic improvement. Our farming methods are woefully out of date compared to the agricultural revolutions taking place in mainland Europe, and our infrastructure is woefully behind. Promote Dublin. Our rapid industrialization and economic reforms have created an attractive environment for foreign business. If we play our cards right and offer substantial subsidies, we can attract foreign powers to establish businesses in Dublin, turning it to a new center of trade situated in the advantageous Atlantic. With London having fallen to the syndicalists, now is our chance to pick up the slack and make it work for us. We need to decide how much funds we'd like to commit to our project. The larger an investment, the wider our international reach will be, but as always, the specter of debt works over us. Spread the message loud and spread it wide. Dublin is open for foreign business. Yeah, just all the people. We have enough political power to support that. Irish 1937 elections. Like every election since 1921, even these elections are marred by perpetual manipulations from the ruling party. Fine Gael party. Taoiseach? Oh, forget it. And the leader of our nation, Michael Collins, who despite his high popularity among citizens wants to remain in power at any cost. Democratic opposition wins despite manipulation, or he holds place. We keep Kevin O'Higgins. Who becomes our head of government? Ian O'Duffy? Yeah, this guy. I'm not a fan of this guy. Who do we get here? We get more options, probably. I've been building up our popularity. Popularity going up to 73% would be quite nice. Though it's more interesting to go this way, it's a hard choice. So we would have Kevin O'Higgins, Ernest Blythe, Gerard O. Yep. So those boys would stay the same. Yeah, tempting. Is there anyone like crazy good in here we don't have? Social Democrats have some decent options, some bad options. Social Liberals have some okay, Market Liberals have some okay ones. National Populists is alright. None of these are going to be good. Blythe is really good. We're trading 7 stability. Nah. Wins by manipulation. That's okay. We should be high popularity now? Yeah. Yep, high party popularity gives us more political power gain. Up to 0.95 per day. It's pretty okay. Ottoman Empire are at war again. Probably going to lose. If they win, I'll be mightily impressed. The Harland and Wolff Shipyard. During the early 1900s, Harland and Wolff Shipyard in Belfast had the prestigious honor of being the world's largest shipyard. After the capitulation of the British Empire during the First Weltkrieg, and their second capitulation not long after to the trade unionists, it's fallen into disrepair and has been overtaken by other yards throughout the world. With refurbishment, it could once again be a great asset, but this time for Ireland, not the British imperialists. Yes, hell yes. So we gain national spirit, Harland and Wolff Shipyard. Production of screen, submarine, and trade convoy goes down, and carrier, oh, and capital ship, good, and 3 naval dockyards. Yes, yes, please. Because we're not making our capital ships yet, but ooh. 2.6 years. That's gotten longer. I don't love that. Our low stability is hurting that, and us not having any of the resources is quite a problem. Maybe I should have gone Steel City. It's not too late. I can pivot and start going for these. The Germans replied, "Our attempt at flirting with German businesses has been a success. The renowned Krupp Armaments manufacturer, Krupp Arms manufacturer, has announced the construction of a new Dublin subsidiary. This is bound to create a significant amount of new jobs, and the military complex will be selling directly to the Irish government. Win-win, as they say." Indeed, a win-win. Mishriki Kingdom has capitulated. Oh, that's a start. An okay start. Hopefully, the Spanish reply, yeah. "Our attempt at flirting with Spanish businesses has sadly been a failure. Due to the fact that they're at war, they're unable to engage in any new foreign investments at this time. Maybe, in retrospect, it would have been best to try to gun for this really early on, before the Spanish Civil War, before the American Civil War, because I'm pretty sure we're going to get a decline from the Americans as well, as they are embroiled in a minor civil conflict." Let's get to, well, let's put in a cut here. It's been about an hour. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, you know what this means by now. This is it for today. There will be more up tomorrow, but until then, make sure to comment, share, like, subscribe, all that silly engagement, social behavior stuff. Follow me on Twitter for any updates. But until then, toodaloo, take care. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.